evidently Stuttering John was there. He was trying to record some interviews in case any people showed up, but nobody showed up.
Nobody showed up.
And now he's furious with Ralph.
Because Ralph got him out there?
Stamos and Ralph burned him last night. And I don't blame you for being mad. From what I'm hearing, I mean, I don't know Ralph's side of the story, but tell Robin what happened.
I'm playing the honest side.
You what?
I'm being honest.
Okay, go ahead.
No, we just, the publicist that was here yesterday was like, we really like you to come. I guess they wanted as many people as they can. Right. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to have some friends because I'm doing a donkey show. They're coming to see me. It was, my wife and a couple of her friends.
Right. So you had your wife with you and a few friends.
Yeah. And some single and hot, actually. But anyway. Right. So we went to the party just to, hang out for a little while because it was right by the donkey show. So we go there and about to leave. I was only there for half an hour. You would have hated it. It was really loud with, dancing music. It was,
Right.
So we're about to leave. I see Ralph. I said, hey, what's up? How you doing? He's like, hey, and he was all happy to see me. And we were hanging out. And then at some point I said, I got a doobie.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Weed.
Like, yeah.
Smoke weed, yeah.
And he's like, oh, great. He goes, and then I go, we're all hungry. And he goes, yeah, well, we're going to go to a restaurant. He goes, come. I go, all right. And I go, why don't you just give me the address? And because I got some girls with me, and we'll, meet you. Like, no, just come with us. So we go in John's,
I'm dying.
limo.
Right.
And we're on the way to the party. We're hanging out. We, smoked the doobie,
Right. And let's just say that you and Ralph.
Yeah, me and Ralph.
Right,
John didn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't smoke.
Right.
So we get to the party. We're all out, and Ralph's on his cell phone. So I'm like, because there's like a lot of people there. I thought it was a restaurant, but it is. But whatever. I guess it's trendy. There's a lot of people out there.
Ralph's always with the phone. He's making plans.
And he's on the phone, and I'm like, so what's going on? He goes, just come on, And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So we go in, and John and Ralph are in front. And they say, and all I know is the guy puts his arm in front of me and says, you guys can't come in. I go, what do you mean? He goes, John Stamos just told us 5, and you guys can't come in.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
And, meanwhile, Carrot Top is also, with me.
Carrot Top?
Yeah.
And what's Carrot Top doing with you?
Carrot Top, I guess, John saw him at the hotel that they're staying at, and John invited Carrot Top. So Carrot Top is with his 2 girlfriends. And they're in the limo with us, and they're with us.
Right. And then the Carrot Top couldn't get in the restaurant?
Carrot Top, they put the arm in front of me and Carrot Top. So then I'm like,
what's with Ralph doing?
Yeah, so it's 10 minutes go by. Ralph doesn't come out. At some point, you got to turn around and say, all right,
what happened to John?
Yeah, who's a friend? I'm not it's so he doesn't come back out. So finally, the guy comes up and whispers in Carrot Top's ear, you can come in. And
and then, that's a real burn.
And then Carrot Top goes, yeah, but how about my friends? I don't want to leave my friends. And he goes, no, only you. So then Carrot Top, being a good guy, goes, I'm not going either. So me and Carrot Top ended up going and having some dinner, somewhere else.
Boy, that's tacky.
But I mean, I know Ralph. How can he not come out and just say, listen, it's too? How he would have said it's too many people. I would have said, fine, let's just go eat. Let's go.
What's the matter with him, man? What's he thinking?
It's like he'd rather hang out with his,
his big friend John.
Yeah, his big friend John, and just blow off people who,
So he used you for the doob.
Yeah.
Nice.
He used you for the pot.
Yeah.
Boy, that's tacky. I'd like to hear his side of it. I'm sure he's not awake. I'm sure he's snoring.
I'm sure he's going to say...
I called. I'm not even sure he's home yet, but I left a message.
I'm sure he's going to say that he didn't realize that we weren't in, but how could he not know? I mean, at some point, don't you just turn around and go,
Where's John?
So the party sucked, and you guys left and went and got dinner, so it's a good thing I didn't go.
Yeah, I don't think you would have enjoyed the party. It was real loud, and I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't go.
Wow. So John didn't want to hang out with John.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Well, John and Ralph didn't want to hang out with John.
No, forget Ralph. John didn't want to hang out with John. John was the one who got people inside this place. And he said no to John.
Right. Don't worry, John. I'll lose him for you.
But I would have been totally fine with you.
You didn't even want to go with them.
I wanted a quiet dinner. I didn't have to go to any trendy place. It was them. It was like, let's go here.
Where'd you go?
Would they end up afterwards?
No, what place did you have dinner? Where did the Stamos have dinner?
Serena?
No, I don't know what that is. You ever hear that, Rob?
No, I never even heard of it. I didn't know where we were. Because we all took his, limo there.
Stamos walks in and then cuts you off?
Yeah, and then the guy, according to the guy, Stamos just said 5, when he knew there was 10 of us, including Carrot Top's 2 friends.
That's it. I'm not hanging around with either of those 2 guys. Seriously, that's tacky. Man.
It wasn't just John. He's with, his wife and stuff.
No, my wife.
And then you look bad in front of your wife and your friends.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you take me here to make me look like a douchebag?
Yeah.
To treat me like crap.
And I don't even care if he would have just came out and said, listen, it's too crowded. I would have said, fine, we're just going to go to a quiet place anyway.
Yeah.
And like Carrot Top's girl, she had to go to the bathroom, and, you know, they wouldn't let her in. It was just...
Carrot Top's a big star.
He's a really nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah. 3-picture deal.
Does he have a 3-picture deal?
He's very funny. And, in fact, his movie was called Straight to Video.
Was it?
And when he goes, it went straight to video.
Carrot Top needs a strong dramatic role. That's the problem. Let me talk to that boy. Well, that's tacky, man.
Yeah.
That's not cool. You don't invite people to dinner and then cut them off and do that number.
I'll just say, at some point, don't you think that Ralph's a good enough friend that he would just pull me aside?
No, obviously not.
No, he's not.
Too many people.
No, he cares about Ralph.
Fine.
Obviously, he's not a good friend at all.
He cares about Ralph.
You know exactly what he's going to say. Dude, I didn't know you guys wanted.
Yeah, he'll be like, because you said that.
No, that's not.
Or he's going to say, well, you had your wife and her friend. But you can smoke the dude, but then you can,
Why he's the one who invited you to dinner.
I know, he's like, come on. I was like, I'll meet you there.
Well, that's weird.
Doesn't surprise me.
Sounds like a fun night. And a lot of these nights, I go out with these guys sometimes. A lot of nights just running around from different places.
Yeah, you just hop from place to place to place, looking for the place you feel best at.
Yeah, and you never quite feel that good.
Right. Every place has the wrong mix.
Yeah. It's not the right vibe. That's New York nightlife.
You get exhausted from the getting into the car and getting out of the car.
And Ralph loves it because he plans his whole life around it.
Because he's going to sleep the rest of the day.
Right. Mm.
But he gets along with,
next night.
He gets along what?
He gets along with my wife as well. It was like, we were all hanging out having a good time.
You don't understand Ralph. On a night when Ralph was alone, you'd be great to hang.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. But because John was there.
Well, he's John's girlfriend,
That's
so it's got to like...
It was a John Stamos night.
Yeah, it's a big John so happening. John's the happening guy.
The only way you know you're happening is if you can not allow some people in.
Right. Yeah, you're the guy who makes everybody else feel good.
That's right.
You're like a homeless person. Yeah, what?
It's funny because I was talking to John Stamos' publicist yesterday,
yeah.
And I said, it really is sort of weird that, like, Ralph is John and Rebecca's friends, and he's going, yeah, I've been at the house when Ralph's been there, and he goes, yeah, it's sort of weird, He goes, but John and Rebecca are interesting people. He goes, they sort of hang around with a big diversity of people, like they have a little bit of everything. I go, but the strangest thing about John Stamos is that he's friends with Ralph. And then the publicist goes, please, and he stayed at the house during the wedding.
Nobody understands.
And I once asked Stamos, I said, well, how did you and Ralph become friends?
And he said.
And he goes, well, he was your friend, so I figured, well, if you like him, then I should like him. Because John's obsessed with me.
I will say that Ralph uses the Howard stamp of approval to take him along.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, he's like, well, Howard likes me, so you should like me.
Because every new group of people that ever work with us, even the CBS show, they just assume that Ralph implies that he's got a lot of power that you've given him. So
he's taken a lot further than any of us, that's for sure.
And what happened was, I remember when we started.
He's the least connected.
Right.
I remember when we started with the CBS show.
He comes over to my house, cleans up, and does my clothes, and then he leaves. I don't know.
And he parlays that into major associations.
I got to hand it to the boy. He knows how to work it.
He's the only one set of such and such.
He's the only one not getting up 5 days a week.
Right.
When we started doing the CBS show, about a month or 2 months in, I see one day they're wheeling in all this stuff, and I go, what's going on? They go, well, we're changing the set. So I look at the set, and they're putting it in, and I go, well, it looks great, but I got to tell you, it's not very functional. How come I wasn't involved in this? And the guy who was directing goes, please. He goes, Ralph did this. He goes, he implied that, that he could do anything he wanted. He goes, now I know better.
Right. Yeah, no. Don't leave Ralph alone.
Ralph
can't do anything. That's weird. Well, it's so strange. Well, because, and then I always think Ralph knows what's going on, Like, I always think that he's got social plans and chicks and... Yeah, because then I'll call him up and go, what do you do? And he goes, you have to plan your life a little better. You should, you got to, during the week, you got to, like, make plans for the weekend and make plans for what clubs you want to go to. I said, you do all that stuff.
You can't do that.
I said, why do I have to do... I work. I'm 24 hours a day working. I got kids. I got a whole thing going on.
I think the big problem in his life now is he needs to know your schedule because he needs to use your name to get into places.
That's right.
And if he uses your name and you don't show up, it gives him a bad name at that place. So he really needs your schedule early in the week.
Yeah, like, I'm going out
to... He's like the party promoter who has to deliver the group.
Right. Exactly, because I'm going out to L.A., right? So the Playboy people invited me to the mansion to go to movie night. Right? Which is good because they're showing a good movie.
Okay.
Which movie?
What are they showing?
Boiler Room.
Boiler Room. I want to see that. So I figured that'd be a cool place to go. It's like, and So, the woman called to invite, and she said, look, we'd love to have Howard. But we got to make sure Howard shows. We don't want to end up with Ralph. You know.
He's already gotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ralph.
I said, Gary, please tell them. I've never once gotten Ralph into the Playboy Mansion. I have nothing to do with that. He goes with his other friends. You know, they're the ones that let him in. Yeah, he does. That's how he gets in.
Remember Dorothy Stratton's husband used to want to show up without Dorothy?
That's what I said to Howard off the air.
Right.
I said they don't want Star 80 showing up.
Right. So it's a whole thing where
that's so funny.
He needs to deliver me.
Right, everywhere. Even in Manhattan now, he's probably trying to parlay your name out there to these other hot clubs.
Well, here's what happened.
Have lists.
Also,
his
friend got him into the Playboy Mansion. Yeah. But when you go in the Playboy Mansion, they have to check your credentials. Right. So he goes, I'm Howard Stern's, guy.
Whatever.
And that's his credential.
Right.
But Howard, you have another friend who's got great credentials that got turned away.
Yeah, Richie Notar got turned down at the Playboy Mansion.
He didn't try to use Howard.
He just has Nobu Restaurant.
Right.
He owns one of the hottest restaurants in the country, and he got turned away, yet Ralph walks in.
Right. Well, because he drops my name.
Right.
That doesn't bother you that he drops your name?
No, because quite frankly, he is associated with the show. It's okay that he says he's part of the show. He is part of the show. He's not lying. And these people, that he goes with are sort of the ones that get him in. I have nothing to do with it. I don't get him in.
But still, somehow or other, these people at Playboy think that eventually you're showing up with Ralph, and you never have.
But I think they would let him in because they don't want to piss you off.
Yeah, right. That's what I think.
Don't think it, know it.
Yeah, right. But you could not let him in. I don't care. I mean, I really don't care.
Oh, you'll crush the boy if you kick him in.
All right.
You cut him off from the Playboy.
Well, after what he did to John, I would like to see him back in it.
What's the big deal about? Obviously, Ralph doesn't mind crushing others.
Yeah, but Ralph did the wrong thing to John.
John will just get pissed. Ralph will actually jump off a building.
Good. I would like to see that. Because that was wrong. What he did to John was terribly wrong.
That is wrong. I'm with you on this one, buddy.
Thanks, man.
I know he's going to have some great excuse that's going to.
I can't wait.
You know what? He can't possibly.
We'll get Carrot Top on the phone because he
no, not that.
Carrot Top's been trying to get on the show for years.
Finally.
And he's finally going to get on the show because he was turned away from a club.
Finally, it's going to be
this whole thing.
It'll be People's Court with Ralph and Carrot Top. John.
Who invited Carrot Top? John Stamos?
John Stamos invited Carrot Top.
But wait a minute, was he not going to let Carrot Top's girlfriends come in?
I don't think so, because when Carrot Top said, well, have some people in, they said, no, just you.
And John left that one funny part of the story, Howard, that I love. So now John's standing outside this trendy restaurant, and, everyone's in, and he's, no way he's getting in. John's wife is pretty.
Right.
He's got two hot friends with her. So at one point, the guy leans over to Susanna and says, you, but not him.
Yeah, they're not going to let John in under any circumstance.
Yeah.
They did?
You just told me that they said your wife could come in.
They always let chicks in.
No, I didn't say that. I promise I didn't.
I swear he told me that out in the hall.
Sometimes you don't understand, John. It's hard.
It's not easy to understand, John.
You probably they did that to Carrot Top. They said you can come in, but not anybody else.
All right, who cares? All right, anyway, sorry you had a bad night, John. I thought that was a funny story, though.
It was.
Yeah. New York nightlife.
We're going to Lot 61 and have dinner.
You had dinner at Lot 61? They serve dinner there?
Yeah, you told us that the other day.
No, they have tables. I thought you just drink. I didn't know you could eat dinner.
I found out it was a restaurant, too.
Yeah, somebody said that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
well, that...
Because, Carrot Top was like, come on, let's go to Lot 61. I'm like, are you sure they serve food?
Carrot Top. It's funny.
Carrot Top knows me.
Carrot Top. I bet he's a player.
I bet you he gets laid being Carrot Top.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he's a millionaire.
He has that whole college circuit sewed up.
Yeah. And I'm sure that Ralph was saying to John, don't let that Carrot Top in. He's a loser.
Carrot Top told me, I said, so where you perform? I'd love to see you. He goes, well, I don't do clubs. I do theaters.
Oh, excuse me.
Forget you and the clubs.
And when you go to dinner with Carrot Top, does he have a bag of props with him? Like, does he start pulling stuff out of a bag?
Does he tie down that hair, or is it all...
No, his hair is all up. And a really odd thing is his facial hair is dark brown.
Do you think he dyes his hair?
I said, how'd that happen? He goes, someone just put some stuff, I think. I think that's what he said.
In his beard?
Yeah.
They dyed his beard while he was sleeping.
Because his eyebrows were brown and his beard dark brown. His beard was dark brown, and then his hair is all
red.
Yeah.
Carrot Top is coloring.
You can't be Carrot Top with brown hair.
So Carrot Top dyes his hair red.
No. I think they just color his face.
No.
Why would they do
that? Here, John. They color his eyebrows.
John,
No.
He needs the red hair to be Carrot Top so that he has brown hair and they dye it red.
Otherwise, he'd be Duty Top.
Thank God for people like John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they dye his eyebrows and beard brown. Why would you dye your eyebrows and beard?
His beard. I swear.
You're funny. Oh, God, I'm wrong.
His hair is bright red.
His hair is bright red because he's Carrot Top. You douchebag.
You know who had bright red hair? Lucille Ball. That's not the real color.
Yeah.
All right.
I like he goes to John. Oh, that just happened.
John is already saying his eyebrows are brown and his beard is brown, but they touch those up.
Yeah. You know what?
No, Howard. Like,
they were right not to let you in that restaurant.
They actually have, like, a Grecian formula for your facial hair.
I know they do, but that's not what Carrot Top needs red hair.
Why would Carrot Top color his face?
Why would Carrot Top not want to have a red
I think he said he didn't like. I think he said he didn't like having a red beard.
Just stop, John. Stop now.
John, you're digging. You know what it is? You'll argue any point, and you sound like an idiot.
All right, listen. You know what? I was at that point I was stoned, so I'm not.
All right, whatever. Blame it on that.
I was tired.
I'm not stupid. I'm stoned.
I was tired.
Hey, did you get me into all the happening? This is a great story. A couple of weeks ago, Stuttering John came in here, and he began to tell me a story about how he was out one night with his wife and about 5 other people, including Carrot Top. Hey, John. John, stop me if I'm going to try and condense the story.
Okay.
All right. Stuttering John told me this story. He was out a couple of weeks ago, and he runs into John Stamos and Ralph. Mm-hmm. John Stamos has become friendly with Ralph. And he says he ran into them. And tell the story rather briefly. They invited you to go to dinner with them.
John's. Ralph said, "Come with us. They were going to go, come eat to this other place." Because I was like, "Ralph, I'm like kind of hungry." Yeah, that's where we're going.
Right. And what happened? You got to they got in the car with you, and Ralph smoked your doobie.
Yeah, I said good because I have a doobie. He goes, great. So come on. So then I said, but I have some other people, and I don't want to. He goes, don't worry about it. So we go into the limo. I break out the doob. A friend I was with breaks out another doob. John's friend smokes it. Ralph smokes it. Everyone smokes. Everyone's having a great time. We pull up to the place.
By the way, John was not smoking.
But John is in the limo.
Right.
So it's all of you going to the restaurant together.
Right.
Yeah, the only 2 people who didn't smoke were the driver and John Stamos.
All right.
And then we get to the place.
Well, and also Carrot Top was not smoking. You should make that
all right,
clear.
Carrot Top.
Okay, right.
Yeah, Carrot Top.
No, he wasn't smoking.
Oh, okay. Carrot Top's not smoking.
Right.
No, that's true. Carrot Top wasn't smoking.
Right.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
All right.
I'm sorry. And, but anyway, so we get to the place, and then, like, everyone's, waiting around to go in, and suddenly John goes in and Ralph goes in, and then the guy puts the arm right in front of me. Those guys.
All right, so John Stamos and Ralph invited you to a restaurant, and then when you got to the restaurant, they walked in, and the bouncer put his arm out, wouldn't allow you in.
Wouldn't let me in.
And you stood outside for 10 minutes, and John Stamos, 20 minutes, and John Stamos and Ralph eventually said, hey, you can't come in.
No, John Stamos and Ralph never come out. Then another bouncer comes out to whisper in Carrot Top's ear, hey, you can come if you want, but all your friends can't.
So in other words, John Stamos was only interested in having a celebrity in there with him, and not you.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. On our phone is John Stamos, who says you're lying, that's not how it went.
Well, I got 4 friends who'll call in.
All right. John, hi.
What a night. I got Ralph, John, Carrot Top. Shoot me.
You're such a big star. That's horrible to hang out with us, John.
Dumping them.
I'm kidding. John.
What?
You're being...
I'm being...
I felt terrible about this, and the next morning,
John,
you guys...
Hey, John, how am I lying? I'm just curious, because if that should be just something that I'm lying, I would love to see how I'm lying.
No. You're not... I mean, just let me give my side of the story.
All right.
I saw you at the party. You said, where are you going? I said, to Serena's place. You said, let's all go.
Oh, so I invited myself.
No. I said, let's meet us over there. Let's go.
Okay.
So I go out the back. I'm in the car.
Yeah, by the way, Howard, John walks, instead of going down with everybody else in the elevator, John chooses to walk down 13 flights of stairs to avoid the crowd.
How do you think he stays in shape?
Right. Oh, why? Because he'll be swamped by his fans?
Yeah. Howard, there's like 100 people there. John, and there's like 20 people in the elevator. John would rather walk down 13 flights of stairs.
Oh, well, he's a very big
The elevators were stuck. And I made it down in like 2 minutes, and you guys didn't make it down in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get in the car.
Full House was a huge show. Maybe, All right, go ahead.
He can't afford an elevator, is what you saying?
No, he's saying that his fans will swamp him wherever he goes. He had to sneak out.
John, wasn't there a million people there with cameras and all?
It's a lot of Uncle Jesse fans.
He didn't want to be seen.
I thought the whole point was that you were going was to promote something, though. That's why I thought you
and I
wanted
used to be friends, didn't we?
No, I never had a problem with you. That's why I was shocked you shafted me.
John, admit you did shaft him.
What happened, John?
All right, go ahead.
I was feeling very bad.
Let's hear it.
Stuttering John sticks his head and said, "Can I ride with you?" I said, "Yeah." And then in comes like 5 or 6 people.
No, this is a lie already.
All right, what is the truth?
Okay, Ralph is with me. Ralph says, "You come with us." I say to Ralph, "Listen, why don't I just get a cab and I'll meet you?" He goes, "No, you come with us," because he knows I got a doob.
Right.
So then John was like, he was waiting in front of us. So I said, "Ralph, let's just get in the cab and we'll go there." He goes, "No, don't worry. John's cool. Let's go catch him." So we get to the limo, and Ralph brings everybody in because Ralph's with me, John.
Well, I remember it differently. I remember you sticking your head in, and I said, "Yeah, come, great."
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't know you had 5 or 6 people with you.
No, I had the 3 girls. I had 3 girls. Carrot Top.
And your wife.
No, I had my wife.
There's 5 total.
Okay.
So then we get in the car. So then he lights up a joint. Then he drops it behind the seat.
No.
Yes. And the car, the driver freaks out.
Let me hear his version.
Okay.
Yeah. The driver freaks out, pulls over.
No, the driver didn't freak out.
Okay.
The driver
pulls over.
Use your head. Come on.
All right.
All right. So in other words, you burned. You had to.
You almost caused a fire in the car.
You almost caused a fire in the car.
I didn't hear what just happened.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it.
He's saying he did drop the marijuana.
Okay.
And it was burning.
And then you had to pull over to go.
So we had to pull over. Meanwhile, I have some guests in there who can't even sit down. They're like squatting like ducks because there's no room in the car.
So then blame your buddy Ralph for telling us to come with him.
So then we pull over. They can't find it. They take off again. Pull over again because it's smoking. And so I get out of the car trying to find this damn thing. People are honking. We're causing a traffic jam.
We pulled over once.
Twice.
Once, and we got
Let John tell his version.
Yeah, kind of tell my story.
All right.
Go ahead.
So then we get to, and so I'm driving over, and John, don't lie when I said to you, I said, "I don't know if I can get this many people in." And you said, "You're John Stamos, you can do anything." You remember that?
No.
Okay, well.
Not at all, because you know what, John? You were so far away from me.
I know, but you said that. I swear on my mother's life.
I was on the other side of the limo to you.
What's that?
I was on the
All
other
right, so
side of the limo.
So John, how did you work it? You went in. How do you tell the bouncer?
So I come up, and the guy says, "How many people?" I said, "Like 12." He said, "All you can have is 5." The night before, I meet the owner, so I figure I'll go down, try to find this guy, because my other friends didn't get in either. It wasn't just like John didn't get in.
So what did you do? You just like...
I went down and looked for the guy, couldn't find him. I stayed for a little while, finally found him. We came back up. They'd taken my limo to a restaurant.
All right, so don't you think that I guess the weird part was that I guess you never said to John you can't come in, you just left him outside.
John, let me just make a suggestion. All you had to do was, when I wasn't allowed in, just say, "Listen, John, there's too many people, you can't get in." I said, "Fine, don't worry about it." I didn't care, really.
By that point, I didn't know what was going on, because I went downstairs, I'm looking around for the guy, I can't find him.
John, I just want you to know that I talked to Ralph about this.
Yeah.
And his side of the story was that you and him were downstairs, and you didn't even realize that I didn't get in. So you guys should get your story correctly.
Well, that might have been his side of the story.
Okay, so he didn't know I didn't get in, but you knew I didn't get in, and you took 45 minutes to try and find someone to get me in.
John stood out on the street, which is really funny, for like 45 minutes trying to get in.
Me and Carrot Top were out in the street with like 100 people, calling you an a-hole.
Carrot Top.
You know what? I'm sorry.
I can't believe you left the Carrot Top
But
hanging
how
out.
come they whispered to Carrot Top that he could get in?
Yeah, why did you whisper to Carrot Top that he could come in? Because he's famous?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with Carrot Top. This could backfire, this call.
So
I was going to call John, just by myself. I'm sorry, it was a weird circumstance.
All right, so your point of view was, look.
My point of view was that I got kind of lambasted with so many people. If it was him and his wife, I'm sure he would have no problem, or I wouldn't have gone in without them. You know what I mean?
John, but I knew that going in. I said, "Listen, I have some people here," so I said that right in the beginning. So why don't I just take a cab and I'll meet you there? It's no problem.
You never said that to me.
No, well, no, you already had run down the stairs. I told Ralph, "Listen, dude, I have 3 girls, but I introduced you to those 3 girls, and you still invited us. You told us to come."
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, hold on, John. I introduced you to 3 girls, and then I said, "So what are you doing?" And you said, "Hey, we're going to this place. Why don't you guys come?" You knew the 3 girls that were coming with me.
Don't you get it?
Yeah.
The bottom line is, John Stamos cares about one person.
John Stamos.
That's right.
And actually, Ralph. Because he cares about Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph he likes.
Yeah.
He doesn't like you.
And Ralph, here's a guy who I helped.
John, am I right? Tell the truth.
No, you're not right. Howard, you were doing the same thing the other night in L.A. Remember when you're traveling around with 12, 13
And you
people?
lost David Spade?
Yeah, it's the same deal.
Yeah, but John.
No, but I didn't tell some guy, you know, hey,
John,
cut everyone out.
It happens, but the only thing really that you screwed up was all you had to do was come back up the stairs and say, John, it's just you have too many people. I would have said, John, thanks for coming up. Fine, I'm out of here. I was just hungry.
Maybe John was uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah, but I hung out with John before. He was always a nice guy.
That's why you got to take my point. Why would I deliberately screw you like that?
John, just be honest with one thing. While you were downstairs, I
guess in life it's important to recognize when you're ditched. There isn't a point when you were downstairs that you just had, got a drink. All right, some people want to talk about this. Let's see. Jeff, go ahead. You're on with John Stamos and Stuttering John.
Yeah, you know, Stamos there, if everyone couldn't get in, you should have came out and hung out with the group and not left Stuttering John out in the cold.
Well, you know what? You're partially right, but it wasn't like I was with John and his wife or something like that. He had a bunch of people with him. There were other people. I had just met John about 5 minutes earlier. It's not like we've been out the whole night together. It's not like John and I are best friends. It's not like we hang out when I come to New York.
John, have we hung out, before?
You never met him when you were on the show?
John, do you remember the time that I saw you at that party and you said, John, come sit down, and then we hung out with you all night?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that wasn't the case.
Now?
That was then.
Yeah, I mean, if we would have been out all night or something, and I did come back, and in fact...
You came back? You didn't come back? Me and Carrot Top was sitting there for 20 minutes.
Yes, I did, and the driver said he took you guys... The driver said he took you guys to a restaurant, and then I left and went to meet you guys at the restaurant. You had just left the restaurant.
John, we were at that restaurant for an hour. We ordered food. We had drinks. There's no way you were there immediately.
All right,
I got there just as you guys were leaving. They just told me you guys had left.
So about an hour and a half left.
All right, so here's the point.
What is the point?
There is no point.
The point is, Stamos is a prick, and he left him out in the cold. Uncle Jesse.
He pulled the star thing, Howard.
Hollywood has a very short memory.
He pulled the star thing. John, you could have been a friend, but instead you just hung out downstairs, had drinks at that. Don't worry, John had too many people, which you should have just told him right.
What happens is, first of all, Ralph is very arrogant when he gets around a celebrity.
But here's a guy, Howard, who we know for years, Ralph.
Yeah.
I hang out with him. I smoke pot with him.
Right. Don't you think it was his responsibility more than mine?
Yes, definitely. But still...
You're right. You know what, John? You're absolutely right. I should have came up and said... I mean, I thought you knew once they wouldn't let everybody in that they weren't going to let anybody in.
Here's the point, John.
We take it down to go away.
Thank you very much. John, if they wouldn't have let me in...
I think Stuttering John's point is...
Why don't you just come out with us and we go somewhere else?
Don't invite him somewhere just to diss him. Don't make him travel in a car all those miles, smoke his pot, and then
this is
leave
my
him.
point. You're right. I'm wrong. I should have came up and said, I'm sorry, I can't find the owner. But my point is this, that he just kind of asked if he could have a ride.
No.
Yes, you did.
Wrong. You invited us. You just said
you stuck your head in my car and said, can I go with you guys?
He invited us to go.
No, I know he invited you to go.
Yeah.
If you weren't going to let him in, you should have told him not to come along.
He didn't know John came with a
Wrong, Robin. It was the first time I met John. It was me and the girls. I said hi to my wife.
All right.
He knew I was with the girls.
All right.
And by the way, Carrot Top was with two girls too. You don't hear him complaining about that.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Carrot Top had two girls in the limo. That's who I ended up going to the restaurant with.
He was with one person.
No, he was with two girls.
Let's hear from Connie. Connie has a point of view. Yes, Connie.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say that I would rather see Stuttering John at this point than John Stamos. They should have let him in and let John Stamos stay outside.
You guys. All right, well.
I think you're a bigger celebrity, John. We love you.
You think Stuttering John is more famous than John Stamos?
Absolutely.
I would never hang out with Stamos.
I would rather. I'll come down and hang out with Stuttering John.
What about David Spade? Who's bigger?
I prefer Stuttering John myself.
Obviously, this has turned into...
The real move just should have been...
Well, no, here's what...
Stamos should have came up and just said, let's just go somewhere else. I mean,
you know what, John, you're right. I should have came up and said...
Stamos is admitting he did it wrong.
I should have came up and said, I can't find the owner and I'm sorry.
Night, John, that you didn't realize the protocol, the etiquette?
Because it was his night.
No, but, it was like all of a sudden... I'm out, and all of a sudden I got like 10 or 12 people with me that I'm responsible for.
Right. You did more than you bargained for.
Like 10 minutes, like all of a sudden, in 10, 15 minutes, I got 12 people in my car.
Well,
when
that's
I
Ralph.
Just one.
Well, that's Ralph piling in everywhere.
Ralph, it was also John. John invited me.
Then all of a sudden I'm stuck for 12 people. You had 3 people that I didn't even know, had never met before that night.
And Carrot Top had 2 girls.
You had 5.
Carrot had one.
Carrot Top had 2, Robin.
What do you call it, Carrot Top? You just call him Carrot Top?
Scott is his real name, but he had 2 women.
Do you call him Scott?
I call him Scott. I finally said, hey.
What does Stamos call him?
I said, can I stop calling you Carrot Top and just call you...
He was a nice guy, wasn't he, John?
He was a very nice guy. So nice that he stayed with me.
Wow.
Yeah, instead of going in with you.
No.
He didn't pull the Star Trek.
John, the bouncer came out and said to Carrot Top, you can come in, but not your friends. And Carrot Top said, I'm going to stay out here. Meanwhile, one of the girls he was with said, I have to go to the bathroom real bad. And Carrot Top's like, I'm not going to leave John.
Carrot Top is a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him. He might not be funny, but he's a stand-up guy.
John, I don't think this call is helping your case.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wanted to call and talk to John just to say I'm sorry that it was a weird night and screwed up circumstances.
Well, it's fine, John. I know you're a nice guy.
I just had adopted like this big party that I was responsible for.
I think what happened is John Stamos invited a bunch of people into his car.
I didn't invite. He said, where are you going? I said, we're going to Serena's. And that was it. I didn't say, will you please come? I didn't say, John, come carry you all night.
No, I didn't want you to take care of me.
But I didn't even say that. I didn't say, yeah, come with me. Bring all your friends and come with me. I didn't say that. I said, we're going to Serena's. Let's meet over there. Period.
Oh, see how just before it was that he invited us to come. Now it's let's just meet over there. John, you invited us to come. It doesn't matter. So did Ralph. I don't care. But the point is, when the guy put his arm in front of me, all you had to do was say, John, I'm sorry. And I would have said, dude, no problem.
Right. He didn't inform you that you're going to be standing out on the street for 25 minutes.
John just objects to being left on the street.
Yeah.
Especially if he didn't have another doob.
John?
What?
It's a weird thing, but in this case, and I think I sort of agree with John Stamos a little bit, because I've seen it happen to you. No, I've seen it happen to you, Howard, where you're the guy who gets everyone in someplace, and then you get stuck being in charge of everybody, and you just want to go in and sit down.
The reason why
I don't invite everybody.
Well, John's saying...
He did invite us. Right? He did. Pull the tape 10 minutes ago. He said
okay, so
John should know better than to get involved.
Right.
And
you should know that most people in Hollywood, they really don't want you around.
It sounds like Ralph. I hate to say it.
I think Ralph's more responsible, but John also invited us, too.
But, see, I'm almost on John Stamos' side.
Of course, because now you got to turn around.
Because, wait a minute. Remember John at the pool in the Four Seasons?
Oh, see, this is why.
Yeah.
Where he and all of a sudden, you were
felt.
at a party. You were at the pool.
Right.
Here we go. See, you know what?
The next thing you know, you got John and all of his friends.
Right.
And there was a huge bar bill.
Howard, that's how it felt to me, because I swear to you, John.
Story since then,
John, I said to you, I
understand what you're saying, Robin. All of a sudden, I ended up with Stuttering John and 80 friends.
In light of that,
this is a John Ralph deal.
No, Robin, the point is,
the
point is the whole time, conscious of that the whole time in my head.
John Stamos got rolled.
Howard, that was in my head the whole time, which is why I kept saying, guys, I'll meet you over, I'll take a cab.
John, you stuck your head in my limo and said, can I come with you?
I was with Ralph. Me and Ralph.
No, it was you.
It was me and Ralph.
Do you understand what the whole connecting this all went down because Ralph wanted to grub some pot?
Right.
That's the whole bottom line.
Robin, the thing you're missing is John.
And Ralph loves to be around celebrities and use their limos and get involved with everybody.
You guys get paid.
When I went out in L.A., Ralph was in my limo yelling at Bijou Phillips where we were going to be going. I said, what is this?
Gary,
Joe Malone
invited me and my friends to come.
Think about this for a second. Hold on a second.
Invited me and my friends
Think about this for a second. You and I always talk about who the nicest people on the show are.
Yeah.
John Stamos is always, we always talk about what a good guy is. This is very un-John-like behavior. So what's the other factor? Ralph. I'm telling you, there's something weird going on.
I admit, Ralph probably is more responsible than John. But
John.
Hold on, wait, stop. Everything put aside. When John Stamos and Ralph walk downstairs and see I can't get in, both of them should come up and say, hey, we're sorry that we can't get in.
It's true. Stamos knew.
You look for the owner to let you in.
John, stop it. Hold on. While you were looking for the owner. Hold on, Rob. Wait, all right. While you were looking for the owner, did you get a drink?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hung out a little bit, got dinner. Come on. Stop lying.
What
am I going to do?
This restaurant?
Well, yeah, you have me and Carrot Top upstairs. You should be very quick about it.
All of a sudden, I adopted everybody that night that I didn't even want to adopt.
You invited Carrot Top.
I told you in the car that I couldn't get this many people in.
You invited Carrot Top, and you also invited me and my friends.
John Stamos wanted to go out in the evening. He didn't want to babysit John
Robin.
and all of his friends.
He got caught in the twilight zone.
John Stamos wanted to have fun and hang out with us, but when it got to where we couldn't get in, we weren't that important.
Wait, you're letting something go here. John just said that he was going to go look for the owner and see if he could...
Dennis, let me go to...
Did he do that?
No.
Yes.
No, he said he did. All right.
And what happened? What did the owner say?
All I know is, Gary, just so you know, Ralph told me that
All right. Let's go. Let's move on. Dennis, go ahead. You're on the phone. Stuttering John, please.
John, stop whining. You met up with... Who waits 45 minutes to get somewhere? Obviously, there's a problem. You get going on your way.
Yeah, and we did.
All of a sudden, you're like
John Davis. Dude, we did go on our way.
Like John Davis for the night.
We went to another club.
That's what happened, exactly.
No,
John, you get a free ride to the restaurant.
Dude, I didn't want to go to the restaurant.
You must have been such a pain in the neck after stopping off twice to find that Jew. Yeah. Okay. I would have thrown you out of the limo.
Yeah, there you go. And
Bobby De Niro is on the phone. Bobby D, go ahead.
Yeah, where's the faggot Greek? Yeah, right here, Bobby. Yeah, listen to me, pal. Listen to me. Okay, baby. John is a friend of ours. You hear me?
Yeah, a friend of ours.
Listen to me. Shut your mouth. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? He's a friend of ours. You hear me? Dear man. I think dear man. I think a little bit. You're a little rude to him, a little bit. Stamos, what do you take us for, a bunch of effing morons?
All right, thank you, Bobby D.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
What Gary doesn't understand is when I asked Ralph about this, he said that they didn't realize that I didn't get in.
Right,
I did.
It is a conflicting
How can you not realize?
I did. I realized.
Ralph is covering his own butt.
That's Ralph covering himself.
Yeah.
Well, so listen, John, you admit that you made a mistake, correct?
I admit that I should have came back when I couldn't find the owner in time.
Right. John, go ahead.
John, you didn't make any mistakes.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
Robin, you just love to get on my case.
Cameron and the Olsen twins stand out there on the curb.
Stamos would have never left the Olsen twins out on the curb. That's right. Because you know what? Stuttering John is a disposable commodity. You're
exactly.
right.
You know what a problem Stuttering John can be.
Here we go.
The guy just wanted to have dinner.
Hey, Robin, are people allowed to grow up?
They just wanted to have dinner, John.
Are people allowed to change?
They just
or am I going to live at the California freaking pool for the rest of my life?
You're still that way.
I mean, give me a break.
John Stamos?
Actually, you were pretty old when you did that.
Hey, John, you know I like you, and I'm sorry if it got weird.
Gary.
I think if you had been more important, John Stamos would have been turned
together. Of course. I was originally thinking that, and now I don't think it.
Rob,
no, I think so.
Hey, guys, my friends, I'm not even talking about Carrot Top. Another one of my friends didn't even get in. It was with me all night.
I'll tell you the story, though. I once met out at the Sky Bar with John Stamos. I met George Clooney. And what's Superman?
I was there right now.
And Dean Cain. I don't think I couldn't remember the guy's name.
Right.
And I don't think you're right. John probably would have, gone a little quicker to get George Clooney or Dean Cain.
Of course.
Right.
Just say that was me.
Right.
But to stay
wasn't with you.
What's that?
Well, he invited him.
He invited me, Robin.
I don't know what. You know what? I really don't know.
He first admits he invited me. Then he said that he told me to meet him.
But he's saying that he invited you. And
all right. I don't think we're going to get to the bottom of it.
What's killing John is that Ralph was in and John wasn't.
I don't care.
After Ralph,
I don't care.
I think John wanted to be told that he wasn't going to get in.
Just say I can't get in, and I would have just left.
Well, what's killing me is that I do think you're a great guy. We've been friends for a long time, and I feel bad that it happened.
Yeah, John Stamos, listen to me. What I think is embarrassing to Stuttering John is he went there with his wife and his friends.
And he was left on.
And he was left on the street with his wife. And it embarrassed him.
If it was just him and his wife, I wouldn't have gone in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So then why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you say when you got to join this many people and you can't come?
I told you in the car. I said I can't get this many. They're not going to let 12 people in the car.
All right.
I mean, in the club.
Look what you turned his limo into.
And you said,
hold on, Carrot Top had two girls. Ralph was there.
All right, let's say that we don't really know what happened that night.
But Howard,
sounds like a big mess.
You do know that John should have just came up and said, John.
I don't know what John should have done.
John should have not. John won't be doing this crap anymore.
Right.
That's right.
That's what you learned.
Ralph's out. John Stuttering John. They're all out.
Hang out with you then. You wanted. Hey, listen, John. Hey, John. If you couldn't have got in, we would have all hung out, and then you would have loved it. Because then you would at least had somebody to hang out with. But you were looking for celebrities to hang out with, and I wasn't big enough.
That's not true.
I don't think
that's why he went to the next party, Robin.
I don't work the door. I wasn't saying who can come in and who can't come in.
The next party was another trendy place where it was crowded with
You're a problem.
Here's Sean Puffy Combs on the phone. Yes, Puffy.
Bitch.
This Puff Daddy. Yeah.
Freaking bitch.
What's up, Hal?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, I was at the party.
So sick
the reason they didn't get John down there.
Well, let's hear what Puffy has to do. Just shut up.
Jump against me every minute.
I'll pull out my 9, man, if you start bitching.
Yeah, Puffy, what is it?
Yo, when I was hanging out, man, they didn't want to get John down there because Ralph and Stamos were getting it on. They were doing the little 99 in one of the back rooms.
Okay. Wow. Is that true, John Stamos? You and Ralph got it on that night? That's why you didn't want Stuttering John around?
Who writes your stuff, Puffy? This is funny.
I do.
I even lost Ralph. He just took off and went somewhere else too.
Yeah, because he got hit. Whatever.
All right, listen, this is silly.
Yeah. It's silly.
I don't think there's a resolution.
Good radio, finally.
No, there is a resolution. I know he feels bad about it because he knows he should have came up and just said,
yeah, he should have realized that you weren't sitting at the table and at least said to you, listen, I'm sorry I can't get you in. I agree with that.
For what it's worth, John, I understand. John Stamos.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand what happened.
Of course you do, Robin, because you're just a bitch.
We all been
I understand what happened.
Stamos, we all been there.
We've all been stuck with Stuttering John, and John Stamos is...
And that's Jackie talking,
you were a victim.
Stamos, wait till he moves into your neighborhood.
And that's Jackie calling, talking a guy who loves me and wants to hang out with me all the time.
What are we having for dinner tonight, Jackie?
Yeah.
Such a...
I feel bad for you.
How did your Beach Boys special do?
Dude, it was a smash.
It was horrible.
Oh,
the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
Ooh. Really?
No, I'm only kidding.
Did you watch it, John?
I did watch it, but then I hated you so much I turned it off. I swear to God, I was watching, I was trying to get to it, and I said, F him.
Huh?
What is it, Pete? Pete?
Yeah.
What is it?
All I could say is I wouldn't want to go to war with John Stamos. Guy will leave you in a foxhole bleeding to death.
Oh. All right, Pete. Thank you,
John. I gotta be honest.
He's a puss.
I don't, John. I don't know you as John. I don't know you as much as Ralph. Like I really blame Ralph more because like he's supposed to be a friend. Like you only hung out with a couple times.
Well, and we've always had a nice time together.
I know that. And you've always been nice, except for now.
You know what you ought to do, John?
I deliberately didn't try to screw you.
Stamos, you know what you ought to do?
I swear I felt terrible.
Let him sleep with Rebecca for one night.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well, we all know that Mrs. Stamos hates Stuttering John. So.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
She doesn't even know me.
She ain't going to sleep with you.
That's cool, and his wife was cool. I enjoyed talking to both of them and hanging out.
For a limited time.
All of a sudden it became like I just got stuck with this bunch of people that I was responsible for.
All right, understood.
Come on.
All right, John Stamos, thank you. The Beach Boys thing did well in the ratings?
It was a smash, yeah, and the reviews were great. And
you know what I wanted to mention? Two things real quick. Number one, I got to watch the Grammys late. Better late than never. Yeah. This Jennifer Lopez dress.
I loved it.
You loved it?
I love it.
I love it, too.
Dress?
Yeah, I loved it.
And my wife's going, how could you like that? But I love it.
Every woman I know said to me, who saw that Grammys, said to me, oh, she is a whore. It's disgusting. Why did she just show her shoes?
One guy complained.
Right. Let me tell you something.
He said it was Sean Puppy Combs' idea.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Well, he's a good fashion guy.
It was unbelievable. This girl has some body.
And you know what? It takes your mind off a big butt, too, when you see the cleavage.
Right. And I got to tell you, in a way, I was even, sometimes I had to look away. I was so embarrassed.
Really?
I mean, it was so revealing.
You were alone and you were embarrassed.
Although the dress didn't have anywhere to hide a gun. So
maybe that's what she was doing.
She wanted to show that she didn't carry a
I was
weapon.
praying the tape would give out, you know how?
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised. How does a dress like that not come apart?
She had to glue that on.
Oh, my God.
How painful is it, Robin, to put, double back tape on your breasts? You know what I mean?
And at one point she leaned over to kiss someone in TLC. And I got to tell you.
So the dress has to be glued.
It had to be glued. And it was something else. It was nice.
But I'm saying, why wear clothes at all?
Well, let me tell you something. This dress did a lot. She knows what she's doing. She's on the cover of every tabloid.
And she has been downloaded. They had so many Grammy hits. The Grammy people ought to pay her.
Right.
They have had so many hits to their website.
Right.
Because people are downloading that dress.
You should tell your wife to wear something like that. I don't know if his wife would. Would Rebecca Romaine Stamos wear a dress like that?
No, she wouldn't.
No, she doesn't seem that touchy.
I'm too classy.
You don't know, John. You can't even get into the restaurant.
Yeah, you don't know anything about John Stamos. You were left out on the street.
Without a dude.
I'll tell you, Stamos would have gotten Jennifer Lopez in that restaurant.
Oh, of course.
He wouldn't have left her on the street.
No way.
Oh, no.
She's too important.
Hey, John, how many people did you have with you total? 5?
Me and my wife and 3 of her friends.
5? Now all of a sudden it's 5 people, guys. You see what happens here?
I know what happened to you, John.
You know, I've always said 3 of my friends. Go back and
Hey, Stamos, let me ask you if you agree with this. Let's get off the Stuttering John thing. All right?
Yeah, please.
I want to make a statement about Barbara Walters. Have you ever done that show, The View?
No, I won't do it.
Why?
You won't.
They were rude to Rebecca a couple times, or one time when she went.
But I'm glad to hear that. I got to tell
the whole woman thing, and she comes on, and they didn't trust her to be good enough on her own, so they had to have Richard, one of the comics, come on and crap up her whole segment.
Well, let me tell you something. I take real offense at
What's
this
going on?
interview that Barbara Walters did with John Benet Ramsey's parents.
Oh.
She did a fluff piece on these two, and afterwards came out and said they seem very believable, they seem like very nice people, and they seem like they're very concerned about their child. She said, quote, I felt horrible for the Ramseys. These are very nice, very sad people who are grieving for the daughter the best they can. Now, let me tell you something. And she went on to say that these seem like people who care very much about each other. They seem to be very decent. Now, let me say something here. I don't know who killed John Benet Ramsey.
I think it was suicide.
Yeah. I don't know who killed John Benet Ramsey. But there seems to be a cloud of suspicion over the Ramsey parents. And let me tell you one other thing. When you say somebody's decent, a few minutes after the body was found, according to I think it's the Globe, a few minutes after the body was found, John Ramsey tried to get on a private airplane and leave town. They immediately hired lawyers for months, refusing to talk to detectives. How decent is that?
Yeah, they didn't cooperate with the police very well.
They even brought in a public relations team to try to bolster their image. Now, look.
That all seems very strange.
I am not saying the Ramseys are guilty, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not an investigator. But anybody who would hire
a PR
firm and keep detectives away from questions. I would answer every question if my daughter was murdered in my home. Unless I had something...
And if your daughter was killed, Howard, and you discovered the body, would you pick it up?
Oh. No.
Guilty.
Well, look, my point is Barbara Walters is a lackey. And to call her a journalist is an outrage to journalism. I am more of a journalism, and I'm a hack.
You're more of a journalist.
Whatever. A journalist.
Linguist.
Oh, be quiet. You never speak out about anything. You sit quiet. I'm making a speech here. Yeah, speak out.
I just said it was suicide.
Oh, come on.
Spade's joke is, he says, she wasn't that hot.
While there is an umbrella of suspicion against the Ramseys, how could... I'm erupting like a volcano. How could Barbara Walters, an alleged journalist, how could she come out and say that they seem like a very decent couple? What is wrong with this mental patient of a woman?
Police.
I wouldn't kiss Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters can suck my...
The only person they can say anything bad about is you.
Yeah, I'm a bad person. I'm not going to sit... Listen, I'm not going to sit there and talk about how great the Ramseys are based on the fact that they don't cooperate with the police. That alone, I wouldn't say they seem like great people.
She said they didn't seem to be avoiding any of her questions.
Who could avoid her questions? They're softball questions.
So there you go.
Did you watch the
what?
TV movie?
What TV movie?
About John Benet Ramsey?
No. Wouldn't watch that. I wouldn't dignify. Who would have
to watch that?
What kind of imbecile would make a movie about the Ramsey killing? I don't want to see that. I couldn't stomach watching that. That trash. First of all, they can't tell you what they really think who killed them, because then there'll be a lawsuit.
Right.
So it's probably some kind of crap. And it was another time for you know who watches that? Child molesters.
Yeah.
Because they want to see another young girl parade around.
It's their pornography.
No. How could you say they seem like very decent people who cared about it? Let's say they didn't have anything to do with the killing. Forget the cloud of suspicion. These people put their child in beauty pageants. How decent is that? You know, what is Barbara Walters' interview? What's your favorite color? Excuse me, Barbara? What's your favorite color? Oh, color? My favorite color?
Phlegm brown.
Firm brown. What did you say?
Phlegm brown.
Oh, phlegm brown. All right.
Is that Dracula?
Yes, John, it is. John, can I come out with you sometime and get dissed?
Yeah, man.
Where's Barbara Walters? Why doesn't she call in? Is that her on the phone? Why doesn't she call in?
Hello?
Hello?
Whoa.
Well, John Stamos, you got balls for at least calling in and facing your accuser.
Yes, that was very gutsy of you.
Well, I felt bad, you know.
Yeah, there's no need to feel bad.
What is it, Baba Booey?
Those 2 girls are here. The ones who
John, goodbye. I got to dish you. The ecstasy. We got 2 girls on ecstasy here.
Yeah. Give him my number.
How soon can you be here? All right, goodbye.
Take it easy, John.
See you, kids.
Bye, John.
Bye, Dracula.
Let's go have dinner.
Bye, John.
Bye, John.
All right, would you have dinner with John Stamos?
Sure he would.
You would?
I forgive John.
Oh, boy.
I think he's a nice guy.
Of course he
But
would.
I don't think. No, I don't.
You'll never forget it, will you?
What's that?
You'll never forget what happened.
Not until John takes him on.
No, yeah, I mean, he apologized, so it's over.
Wait, but it's still staying in the back of your mind that that's what he did. Even though he apologized, you knew he was wrong, and it'll always be in the back of your mind.
I believe everyone's allowed to make a mistake. If it happened again, then I
who cares? All right, John Stamos, thank you.
You know what I mean?
I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. There he goes, John Stamos.
I feel bad for John Stamos.
Of course you do, and I feel bad for myself to have to deal with you.